Mahatma Gandhi and his fellow leaders faced great obstacles, but they knew that they were on the edge of transforming the consciousness of their nation. People were ready to rise and demand change and overthrow the oppressive, unjust, autocratic rulers. The leadership knew that it was time to act, but they couldn't decide what to do. Gandhi participated in the discussions and debates over the coming weeks, but he also spent 2 hours a day, morning and night, in worship and meditation, opening to the spirit of truth in his soul, waiting for it to move. And finally, it came to him in a dream, a mass march to the sea, to defy the British law and make salt. The Great Salt March was the turning point in the struggle. Independence was inevitable after that, even though it took a long time still. It was inevitable because the Spirit of Truth had given the people a vision of a new future, and they had felt the Spirit's power flowing through them in their souls. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. hit rock bottom during the Montgomery bus boycott, and he was on the brink of giving up the civil rights movement before it even had its first victory. He and his wife and baby were receiving death threats daily. The police were harassing him. The racist white supremacists were not showing any signs of giving up on segregation. And he was exhausted and despairing. And he sat one midnight at his kitchen table, and he told God he just could not go on any longer, and he handed everything over in complete and humble surrender. I give up. He emptied to the point of zero, as Gandhi would have put it. And that was when King heard the Spirit telling him to rise up and carry on, promising to guide him and empower him to the end. And the message the Spirit gave him expanded beyond the cause of racism to the entire materialistic sickness in society that gives rise to racism and to economic inequity and to war and now to the devastation of the earth. Today is Pentecost Preparation Sunday, at least that's what we're celebrating. It's the day of Pentecost is 2 weeks from now. And in the scriptures for today, in the worldwide lectionary, Jesus promises that if we love and follow his way, we will receive the Spirit of truth, which will comfort and guide and empower us. The Spirit came upon that first church dramatically on the day of Pentecost, in part because they were prepared for it. They were ready. So today we are preparing by thinking about what the Holy Spirit is and does and how it can help us in this time of extreme need. The first church knew their need. They were living in a dangerous, violent world that threatened to destroy them. And they felt lost and uncertain how to move forward. The book of Acts describes how the Spirit came with a tremendous gust and burst of light, and the people were filled with the power described by the prophet Joel, and they thought of this. Joel said, "In the last days it will be, God declares, that I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams." We need to recognize and accept that we are in another last times place. The Spirit of Truth has been trying to get us to hear this for a while now, and the coronavirus has acted like an amplifier to make it loud and clear. The poorest and most vulnerable are dying at a far higher rate because of economic and environmental injustice. The earth is on a ventilator in the intensive care unit, and the virus that it is suffering from is human civilization. The Holy Spirit of love and life and light wants to create ever more love and life and light. It wants to heal and restore the habitats and conditions necessary for life to thrive. It wants for us to love and care for one another, especially the most vulnerable and oppressed of humans and the least of creatures. The Spirit wants to create God's realm of justice, peace, and compassion on the earth. The Spirit of truth needs only one thing in order to transform humanity and save the earth, and that is us. It needs for us to open and allow that Spirit to guide and empower us. The Spirit is here, and in these last times it is speaking more powerfully. It is speaking through the young, even more than the old. It is speaking through female voices even more than male, through people of oppressed races even more than the dominant cultures. We are seeing visions and dreaming dreams collectively, and rising up to do the work that the Spirit needs us to do. The choir sang in the introit, "Be a candle of hope, be a candle of light, be a beacon of truth in a dark, hopeless night." I hope that this service will help you shine and change the world around you. So let us worship together this highest power in the universe and ask that it guide and empower us each to use the gifts that it has given us to serve in exactly the way that God and our neighbor and this earth all need. Mel Gertz's haiku for this week was written to remind us of the candle that shines in the darkness. Here it is. Through 1,000 closing clouds, a glimpse of mountain peaks, a patch of blue sky. Let us worship together.